What do you know about the Battle of Bunker Hill? Where and when did this battle take place? How did artillery influence the fight? What famous phrase was spoken during this battle? Want to learn more? Take a seat. Another historical documentary brick film awaits you. But before we begin our story, let us note that all historical minifigures in this film are provided by United Bricks. If you are a collector of high-quality custom minifigures and you're looking for authentic, historically accurate figures, then you definitely need to visit United Bricks. Original Lego parts, historically accurate designs, high-quality prints, everything your collection needs. And now, with United Bricks figures, we continue our story. We have already told the story of the battles of Lexington and Concord, which took place on April 19th, 1775. That was the very first armed clash between the new American patriots and the King's army. The colonists won and forced the British to retreat back to Boston, but this was only the beginning. Colonial militia from across New England surrounded Boston, effectively trapping the British inside. All roads were blocked. At first, the rebels numbered around 14,000, while the British garrison was no more than 4,000. Yet no one dared to storm the city head-on. Boston remained under siege. The two sides faced each other from just a few hundred yards away, but neither made a move. Time, however, was on the side of the British. Even though the colonists had blocked all land routes, Boston was a port city and continued to receive supplies by sea. Reinforcements also arrived by ship, and the British force grew. Soon their numbers reached 6,000 to 7,000 men. The British decided to act. They planned to break the siege, and to do that, they first needed to seize the surrounding high ground, either to deny the rebels artillery positions or to use the hills themselves to bombard the enemy. But word of this plan leaked out, and the militia learned of the Crown's intentions. The colonists understood they had to act first. They decided to occupy the heights near Charlestown. That's where their artillery could strike both the city and the Royal Navy ships in the harbor. On the night of June 17, 1775, the militia climbed the hills and built earthworks. But here's the catch. There were actually two hills near Charlestown: Bunker Hill, higher but further from Boston, and Breed's Hill, lower but much closer to the city. Some historians believe the original plan was to fortify Bunker Hill, hence the name of the battle. But in the darkness, confusion, and general chaos, the defenses ended up being built on Breed's Hill. And so the entire battle was fought there, not on Bunker Hill itself. A quick word on artillery. Yes, the colonists had some, depending on the source, between 2 and 5 light cannon, but they faced serious problems. There were almost no trained gunners, and even worse, most of the ammunition didn't fit the guns, being of larger caliber. With so few usable rounds, the cannons barely fired at all and proved practically useless. At dawn, the British were stunned to see that in a single night, the hills overlooking Boston had been fortified by the enemy.
My God, John, what is this? John, aren't you hot in this? No idea what it is.
Sir, I'm here. Who are you talking to?
John, what did I drink this morning?
Coffee, sir.
Next time, it'll be the decaf for me. Or even better, I get back to the tea. But now, John, to business. Those rebel scum have taken the hill. Wake up the artillery crew.
They opened fire with every gun they had, but the bombardment had little effect. The earthworks held, and hardly a shot struck home. Still, the thunder of cannons and exploding shells frightened some of the militia, and a few slipped away, but most remained. Around 2,000 to 2,500 men stood fast on the hill. The British resolved to storm the position. They were confident that soldiers of the Crown would easily sweep aside a ragtag force of rebels. Thus, began the assault. Nearly 4,000 regulars were ferried across in boats and landed near Charlestown, advancing in formation straight at the colonial redoubts.
Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes.
To their surprise, the enemy wasn't only in the earthworks, but also hidden in Charlestown itself. Many sharpshooters fired from rooftops, hitting British from the flanks. Then the unthinkable happened. The British soldiers broke and ran. The colonists rejoiced. They had driven back the mighty king's troops. No one could believe it. But the British would not be denied. Learning that Charlestown rooftops were aiding the defenders, they set the town ablaze.
Hey, this old man says that rebels are providing support fire from that town. We need to burn that place.
The artillery didn't aim for precision. The goal was to create massive fires so that smoke would blind the shooters. It worked. No more fire came from the flanks. Then came the second assault.